Hello, my love. Today we are going to talk about something that is so close to my heart, and that is how to build a self-compassion practice that truly, truly works. Now, this is where the game changed for me. I personally experienced the fiercest ever inner critic who always made me feel small, inadequate, worthless, like I was never getting things right for such a long time. And when I started to change the way that I talk to me, my whole life shifted. If you don't know me, I'm Jo Bell and I'm a coach. I work predominantly with women to transform their internal world so they can truly unlock the power that they already have and claim the lives they truly desire. Now, let's talk about how self-compassion fits into this, why we need it, bust some myths, and then give you some really, really practical tools because I know that if you've hit play on this episode, there's a part of you that desires to be kinder to yourself. Maybe for a long time now, you've wanted to really be a friend to yourself. Maybe you're in a really detrimental cycle of beating yourself up, but you just don't know how to stop it. Maybe you just know, oh gosh, my professional life would be so much better if I could just be kinder to myself and actually acknowledge my achievements. Wherever you're at, this is a practice that can truly, truly meet you, not in a way where we're going to be gaslighting everything and pretending that everything is wonderful, but in the most authentic and sustainable way that you may ever have heard. So, self compassion is being with yourself in suffering, right? Compassion is about being with yourself. Now you may be thinking, oh, I'm not really in suffering though, so I don't actually need this. But the human condition is that as we grow and evolve, we always come up against challenges, roadblocks, ways of not knowing. So do yourself a favor and don't dismiss your experience. If you feel like you need compassion, then you need compassion, and we all need it. We all need compassion. We all need friends. We all need support, right? And if we can self source that, first of all, it is so special because then we're not relying on other people to give it to us. So, this leads to better relationships. A lot of people are under the illusion that self compassion is really, really selfish, and the opposite is true. There's a lot of research out there that suggests that self compassion makes for better leaders, better friends, better parents, better partners, because we are no longer relying on someone outside of ourselves to give us the love, the acceptance, and the compassion. We're getting it from within, and then everything else is a bonus. It also really boosts resilience because you're way more likely to take risks if you know that you're not going to be horrible to yourself if it doesn't work out. And without risk takers, without innovation, there really is no progress in terms of business. So that's just some things that I want to sprinkle in there, and I want you to let settle in your space. Self-compassion is a beautiful tool, and it is not indulgent at all. The opposite. It's actually an investment in yourself, your future relationships, and everything that you truly desire. So, how do we identify if we need it? Wow. Do you have a fierce inner critic? Do you have a voice that tells you that you're not good enough, you haven't done it the right way, you're silly, you're stupid, any of the things above? If you do, self-compassion is almost like the antidote to this voice. Now, really important part, we never want to push any part of ourselves away. Okay, we never want to be like, inner critic goes over here, self-compassion comes in, we're ignoring this part now. It doesn't work like that. We are going to be working with both your inner critic and self-compassion. Because whenever we reject a part of ourselves, we will never feel whole. Because quite often, the parts of us that are fiercely self-critical are young parts, frozen in time. This is inner child work that I talk about a lot. They're holding on to beliefs and belief systems about who they are. And so if we then say, now you don't belong here, go away, they're going to get more scared, they're going to get more distressed, and those negative voices will become even louder because it triggers something in your threat response. So our inner critic gets to be here. Our inner critic gets to be heard even. Our inner critic is part of us. And we can still choose to have compassion for ourselves. Now, I had this huge moment in my life where I realized how self-critical I had been for so long, and I didn't even know because it had been going on in my mind since I was like 9 or 10 years old. So I had no idea that actually the things I was saying to myself, even though I journaled a lot of them, I had no idea that I actually had a hand in my suffering. Like I actually had quite a big role to play in the way that I was feeling about myself because I was repeating things that were untrue and unhelpful, and it was all going unchecked. So when I brought self-compassion in, it was really about changing the way that I spoke to myself. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. And this piece is so, so, so important. When we are changing the way that we speak to ourselves, the words still need to land in our body. So for example, if your inner critic has told you for many, many years now that you're not good enough, for you to just start saying to yourself, you're good enough, you're good enough, it just might not land. Now, you might get there with time, but at this particular point, it may not land. You might just be like, well, I don't feel like I am, so I can say that as many times as I like, but nothing inside me is changing. This is super, super, super normal. And all we've got to do is we have to find ways in for you to access it at a different level. And then it's like stepping stones. We become more compassionate, more compassionate, and more compassionate. And then eventually you do get a path to self-love through this practice. So if you have that belief of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, and that has been going on, there's two things we can do. We can go to, may I acknowledge how much I've already done? May I see how hard I'm trying? May I see how I show up? So we can go to, may I? Okay, that's one thing that we can do. We can go to, may I? And we can also go to a different I statement, okay? Or a different you statement. So the belief is, I'm not good enough. We don't want to completely dismiss that so the little child inside does not feel heard. But we do want to counteract it and kind of put a bam on it, right? So you might say something like, I know it feels like I'm not good enough right now, but I love and accept myself anyway. You might say something like that. Or you might say, I'm so proud of you for, and just say what you're proud of yourself for. I'm so proud of you for, and just say what you're proud of yourself for. Okay, I've said that twice so that it goes in. Specificity is really important. Our brains like specifics. They see them as facts, they see them as evidence, and then they're like, oh, okay, this is true because I have facts to support it. And they're so programmed to go to the negative. So when we do this consciously, it is a super potent and powerful practice. Well, this is my suggestion, my love. If you would like to try a self-compassion practice, you will need very sophisticated tools, a pen, some paper, and a timer. Those three things are all you need. And what you're going to do is you're going to set an intention that for 5 minutes, you are going to write from the voice of love and compassion. Okay, now if compassion is all that's accessible, if love feels like too much of a stretch, that is a-okay. Again, we're working with what feels good for you, not forcing something that doesn't. Okay, we're working very much with what feels good to you. So you get your pen, you get your paper, and you're going to write for 5 minutes from the voice of love and compassion. And in that writing, you might simply repeat to yourself, I'm so proud of you for X, X, X. Okay, you might just say that. You might say, you are so valued. You make a difference to so many people. You might say, you are amazing, you're strong, you're courageous. If those things land in your body, now they do for me now, they would not have landed for me, if I went back 10 years, no way, no way. So again, meeting yourself where you're at. And if this all feels a little hard, you can choose one phrase and for 5 minutes, just repeat it to yourself. So I got to the point where I was just writing, I love you, Jobel, over and over and over and over. And what that does is it starts to repattern our brain because new pathways in our brains are formed through repetition. So the more you repeat something, the more it's going to become a truth in your brain and in your body. So you can choose one phrase, right? And again, we have this scale. We have from, you're amazing, you're brilliant, I love you, Thank you so much for showing up today. 2, you are doing so well. I'm so proud of you for XYZ. Thank you for XYZ. 2, may I see my growth. May I see how much I'm showing up. May I notice that I matter to other people. So it's almost a little more like a prayer, if you believe in prayer. Okay? You're going to do that for 5 minutes, accessing this voice that is like pure love. Pure love. Now, if your inner critic comes along and says, but, when you say you're proud of yourself for showing up to this, listen to this podcast and doing the exercise, and your inner critic comes along and says, well, what about all the things you haven't done? We just need to say to that inner critic, not now, not now, not now. Okay, again, we're not dismissing it forever, but we're just saying not now. Now is our time. Now is self-compassion time. Then when your timer goes off after 5 minutes, you breathe and you let it land in your body. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and really let those words and that compassion land in your somatic body, land in your nervous system. Because we cannot outthink how the body feels. This is a mind and body game. And just notice what comes up. You're going to do this every day. If you really want to build a sustainable practice, then this is what I would like you to do. 5 minutes every day for 7 days. Notice what comes up for you. How hard do you find it? Do you find yourself resisting it? Does it start to get easier? Just notice. And then when you get to the end of 7 days, you get to recommit. You get to recommit. But here's what I can tell you. The more consciously you do this in your journaling for a period of time, it doesn't have to be until the end of time. It can be for 30 days. It can be for 7 days. It can be for 15 days. The more your brain is going to start to get used to a new way of you talking to you. And this is so, so, so powerful, because this is where it then becomes from the conscious to the subconscious, and that becomes a new reality. That becomes a new way of being, my love. Okay? So I want you to give this a go. Let me know what lands. Let me know if you have any questions when it comes to self-compassion. And this may feel really emotional because you might have never actually acknowledged yourself for everything you've made it through in your life. So if a lot of emotion comes up, beautiful, breathe. If nothing comes up, beautiful, breathe. Keep going with it. Keep going with it and find a way into it that is yours. And remember that you don't need to do anything to be worthy of love and compassion. You are worthy exactly as you are. And if you do not believe that yet, that is the work that we are doing here together. I'm so proud of you for making it to the end, for listening to this episode, for committing, because I know you're committed if you've got to the end, to getting your pen and paper out and doing this exercise and really seeing what comes up and what is present for you. This is something that I have named the love bath. I have taken hundreds, maybe thousands of people through this at this point, and everyone is different. So let your process be your process and come in and tell us what it feels like for you. I'm sending you so much love. Good luck. Enjoy. And remember, the only right way to do things is your way. Okay? There's no right, no, there's no wrong. There's just the way that you're going to show up for yourself and do your thing. All right? Lots of love. Bye.